Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled. So this is our daily Justice for Baby Emmanuel video, right? I told you we're going to do this every single day until the wheels go flying off. Because I'm riding dirty, right? I'm playing dirty, man. You know, when it comes to children, it takes people like me and people like you to continue to create this legacy for this child, because obviously his madman of parents, right? These horrific people didn't do it for him. So we got to. We're gonna take that burden off of poor baby Emmanuel, and I'm gonna ride out for him. Now, you see the title of this video, Guilty or Not Guilty. It's been brought to my attention that I believe that Rebecca Haro and Jake Haro do have a court hearing today. Now, this is a mysterious court date to me, because if they do, what is it all about? What's going to happen? In their last court date, right, Jake and Rebecca basically got different attorneys. I knew that was going to come because they're husband and wife, and it's a conflict of interest. So Rebecca was actually given a personal attorney on top of her public defender. She got lawyers giving lawyers piggyback rides. And now Jake is being given a lawyer. I think today's issue will be a continuance, a dry run, and they will let them know how long they're going to sit in county jail before they actually start the preliminaries and start getting to trial. This will be around the time that the discovery of evidence will be forwarded to Jake as well as Rebecca Haro, so they could see up until this point what evidence is against them. So they'll be granted a packet in their cell, pretty much giving it to them probably after court, which is going to tell them up to date what evidence they got on them. Because when you're locked up, you get a discovery and you are able to see every witness that has testified against you. Sometimes they're blacked out if they're confidential informants, but it's going to be blacked out to a certain point, but they're going to know everyone who has said something, who's going to be called as a witness. All these different things are happening. It's going fast. It seems like this case, they want to get done. They want to get over with, but it creates controversy, because aren't you still looking for baby Emmanuel? Isn't there still search parties and investigations going on concerning bringing this child home? How can you just move forward with the conviction on two idiots when you have not yet brought home the baby? You know, will the baby ever be brought home? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe at this point in time, it's been a month and a half, that baby Emmanuel is still intact. I don't believe he's still, that anybody would notice, even if they knew what they were looking at. Unfortunately, he is a child, 8-month-year-old child, not 7 months, Rebecca, stupid ass, 8-month-year-old child, right? At this point in time, it'd be 9 months, right? But if he was deceased at 8 months, I just don't believe there's enough there to even recognize that it is an infant's body, right? Unfortunately, I hate talking like that, but it's just the truth, man. No added preservatives right here. Now, guilty or not guilty, that's what I wanted to talk about. Whatever happens today, like I said, a dry run in court, whatever. Guilty or not guilty is the question. You see, there's those of us like myself, a lot of you that are watching me, that are presuming guilt before they even get their chance in court. Okay, why? Well, we already know Jakey the Snakey Earthquakey has so much history of child abuse in his past, whether it was done to him, and I'll be doing a video on that soon, or to his daughter Promise. He's already convicted. He's a convicted child abuser. Okay, now he's going to be a convicted child murderer eventually. The clock is ticking, and the time will come. We will be able to celebrate that. Thank you, gracias, God, you did that. Get the fuck out of the way. Unfortunately, the way some people think, they're thinking baby Emmanuel had to go through this so that way her sister Promise could receive her justice. I don't believe so. God doesn't work that way. I believe this is just a situation where a baby was in a horrific household with meth heads, man, and this is the result. This is what happens when the system fails. This is what happens when people are not paying attention, when the family members don't care, when the people that are living in the household don't care, and when children are running around eating Cheetos all day with rotted teeth. I've been around families like that. I've seen it, where their kid ain't nothing but 3-4 months old and they're feeding them fucking hot Takis and Cheetos because they think all the kids like them, instead of giving them a nutritious diet that'll help them. I hate that. Hey, a snack is a snack, but food is fucking food. You know, I remember when I used to be little, I used to be like, Mom, I want some chips. She'd be like, nah, you're going to eat them fucking bean burritos first. All right. Now, all I want to do is eat bean burritos. It's the Mexican in me. But the truth of the matter is, you know, these horrific households where the kids are just given a fucking cold weenie and told run in the room. You see kids eating cold hot dogs, no bread, no nothing. How many different people that are watching me have not seen shit like this? I have, and that is a form of child abuse. That's just straight up off the rip. That's what it is. If you won't get off your fat ass and stop watching Bad Girls Club and go make your child a meal, if you won't take your kid a bath, if you won't, clean your child up before they go to school, wash their face, brush their teeth, clean the lagañas out of their eyes, if you're not doing any of that, those are for the white people and the black people, those are eye boogers, right? Mexicans know what I'm talking about. If you're not willing to do anything like that, you are an exceptionally bad parent. That's just the truth, and you shouldn't even be around any children, whether it's yours or anyone else's, because people like that, man, that won't do for their own, definitely ain't going to do for others. And then I've seen those type of women and men that be acting nice in the community to all these children, but meanwhile, their kids chained up in a fucking basement. It's weird. It's wild and weird. That's the type of person Jake is. So we're presuming guilt before they've even had their trial and their day in court. Why? Because Jake is truly fucking guilty. If he's not guilty for the baby Emmanuel killing, which he has already admitted, but if he is not guilty for that, if it was Rebecca that did it, and a crime of passion, right? If it was that fucking mugre that did it, and Jake truly didn't harm his son, right? Or maybe he did just roll over on him and freak out and then throw him away, right? If you believe those stories, if you believe Ola came through, you know what I'm saying? Like Batman, I am Ola, right? And he came and he just took the baby out of her hands, knocked her out, hit her with the supersonic punch in the back of her head that gave her 2 black eyes. If you believe all these things, then you believe they're guilty. Okay? Or you believe they're not guilty, excuse me. I honestly believe in guilt in this matter. And I know that we have a court process. I've been through the court process several times, been to court my whole life, pretty much, right? And I was in there guilty than a motherfucker when Your Honor, he said, what do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I looked at my lawyer, smiled, and said, not guilty. They have done that. They have pleaded not guilty, but that doesn't mean that they're guilty. They're not guilty. It just means it's not an admission of guilt yet. Usually you're offered a deal. I don't know if they will be offered a deal. I believe Rebecca may be offered a deal at some point if she is willing to snitch on Jake and maybe point him in the direction of the baby. But that would also be an admission of guilt, that she lied about Ola, an admission of guilt that she's a stupid ass bitch, and an admission of guilt that she's just not a good person, right? You know what I mean? She's just a despicable person. We're talking about a woman that doesn't have any of her kids. How she had the 2-year-old and baby Manuel in her presence boggles my mind. Where's your other kids? Where are her other kids at? I'm investigating that point too, man. I'll be bringing that to you pretty soon. We're going to find out where Rebecca and Jake's, all their damn kids are. For 2 people that have so many damn kids, why aren't you taking care of your own kids? We already know Promise and Jake's son are with the primos, right? And primas, the cousins, okay? The cousins have adopted these 2 children. They are no longer Jake's children at all. We don't even say that, but you understand biologically, he is the biological father, meaning he made them, but he ain't going to raise them. Thank God, because a person like that, we don't want to get the fuck away, stupid. That's how I feel, right? So many people are saying guilty, but let's be rational. Okay, even though I don't like to be rational all the time because I don't like them fuckers, right? I'm going to be rational here and say, let the courts do what they do. Don't impede the investigation. We could all make assumptions. We could all have these different stories like me. I'm a content creator, YouTuber. I truly believe in the facts that I garner and I get from people, the word of mouth. I vet shit. But at the end of the day, I was in a cucaracha in the house. You know what I'm saying? I didn't smell the meth smoke like the babies did. So I don't know. But one thing I do know is facts are facts. Pura es pura. When I see that Jake was convicted of child abuse, it's not far-fetched that that's what he continued to do in that household to those children. Unfortunately, the 2-year-old that was removed from the home and put in the CPS system, right? Unfortunately, she's a little too young to let us know the horrors that she witnessed. Because, oh, if she could and would, man, wouldn't it be great to finally figure out exactly what was going on? Pobrecita, the things she probably seen, the things she had to endure, the things baby Manuel, infant, endured at the hands of these two monsters. And again, it doesn't mean abuse as in physical. It doesn't mean pushing them or hitting them. It can be something as simple as never brushing their teeth, something as simple as not giving them vitamins, something as simple as, not buckling them up in a car seat or just having them ride in the back fucking all fucked up like a bobblehead, right? I've seen it. I've lived through it. I know what it is, man. I think all of us understand. Now, there are people out there, ridiculous type people. I give everyone their respect, but I'm just going to say it the way I say it, that literally honestly believe that Jake and Rebecca Haro are innocent. There are stupid, idiot assholes that believe the Ola story. Now, why do I call you idiotic? Because Ray Charles seen that before I seen it. Andatira seen that by the time I seen that, right? Look, there was no Mr. Ola. There was no kidnapping in front of Big Five Sporting Goods. There was no raza in that parking lot taking children. If anything, the raza's trying to drop theirs off with you. Here, watch them. I'm going to go out to the bailar. You know what I mean? I'm going to go kick it. Look, one thing I know about fucking Mexican people, okay, there is trafficking that goes on in Mexico just like the United States. There's all that, right? I'm not going to get into that. That is what it is, man. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in, and it's bad. It's worse than it's ever been. But a typical Mexican-American family or paisa they're trying to get money, homie. You know what I mean? They're not out there trying to take your kids from you and do all that. They're trying to drop their kids off with you. Like I say, ¿sabes qué? I got to work, eh? You know what I mean? Yo estoy trabajar. They're gonna go trabajando. Look, this ain't a laughing matter. The people that believe that Rebecca is telling the truth, you could see in her mannerisms. You could see in the video that I made yesterday about the visit. You could see in the way she's carrying herself and how she's smiling now. You could see that she has no remorse, nor does she have any type of semblance of being normal. She's an evil person. She's not a good mother. This is a woman that creates kids but does not want them. Okay? Jake Haro is a man full of himself, a narcissist, an asshole, a woman beater, a diabolical individual. He's pure evil. That's Michael Myers right there. That is Michael Myers, Jakey, the Michael Myers Haro. Okay? Things that he has went through in his life created the man that he is. A lot of times when you go through hardship, it creates what you do in the future. And people always say, well, that's all they know. No, they know right from wrong. Everyone has the gift of knowing right from wrong. It's just a lot of us choose to do wrong over right because guess what? It's easier. It's always easier to do wrong before it is to do right. See, with right, you got to get off your ass. With right, you can't be lazy. With right, you got to be the mother responsible. Get your kids ready and take them out there to the school bus, right? With right, the dad's got to get up, throw on those Red Wing boots and get your ass out there to work, to bring home the bacon. That's right. Wrong is laying on your fat ass because you're tired, because you drank all night or you got high all night. And guess what? Your kid has school and it's like, I'll take them tomorrow. And you motherfuckers are so lazy, you don't even call the school and tell them that they're going to be late. And you got the school blowing you up like, hey, your kid didn't make it because they're concerned because they want to know where your child's at. And it's the nighttime already in a 7-day week period, right? Real talk. And you're explaining to them, I don't feel good. Bitch, we're not worried about you if you don't feel good. Of course you don't feel good. You had 3 different dicks in you last night. We're talking about your child, right? These are just the fucking simple things in life that prove bad parents compared to real good parents. You know, the type that will consistently get up every morning, drop their kids off at school, make sure they're laced up, they're right, everything, make sure they got their little water bottles and all that. I don't know, man. It's just what I do every day. Facts. Been doing it, right? From preschool to high school. Let's go. But I'll say this, though. I don't judge people based on their past or their future. I judge people based on the content of the character and what they display to me. And so far, what Jake and Rebecca have displayed to me are idiots, assholes, and monsters. Okay, Jake is a whole different anomaly. He's a different type of character. Anyone who would beat a 10-week-old child, and I don't care if you dropped her on accident or purpose, I don't believe that shit. Anyone that did that to promise, I promise you this, man, you're going to get yours on that S&Y yard when you're convicted. And oh, yes, you will be convicted, stupid. And when you go there, I got homeboys personally on the S&Y yard. Yeah, I said homeboys on the S&Y. I do got some friends out there, right? You know what I'm saying? You better hope you don't pull up over there. Now, as far as Rebecca goes, right? Miss Vibrant, Miss No More Black Eyes, Miss No More Shopping Sprees, no more late night creeps. Exactly. No more late night creeps. No more morning creeps either. Just a bunch of creeps, because that's what she is. She's a woman that will get her issue too. She's already had her issue once. She'll get her issue again. Look, I don't do people dirty by saying that, hey, man, this person's guilty or that person deserves time. But in this case, fuck both of you guys. You guys both deserve to be buried up under the jail. Why? Because baby Iman was out there and they know where he's at, and they refuse to let law enforcement know. They refuse to let the detectives know the exact spot where they dropped him off. Now, whether he's still there or he was dragged off by animals or the garbage is thrown on top of, I mean, just, it's fucking crazy to say these things, to think about what this poor baby went through during his life and after his life. These people were not done abusing yet. When a baby endures abuse, like I said, whether it was physical, accidental, it doesn't matter, man. Nobody rolls over on their child. You lazy motherfucker. Get up. You should have been at work. You shouldn't have been rolling over on no one. I don't believe he rolled over. I believe they had a fight. And I honestly believe Rebecca unalived, baby Manuel. That's what I believe. No one can change my mind on that. I know Jakey the Snakey has past criminal history and was convicted of child abuse. I know that. But like I said, child abuse comes in every different form or fashion. That baby was being abused. That baby looked malnourished. That baby looked like he had some type of fetal syndrome. He looked like he had some damage done to his facial structure in his brain already. You could tell by the pictures if you really look close. Those that know. There was a lot that baby was enduring and going through, and it sucks. Okay, so for the people that are going to sit here and say Jake's not guilty, give them their day in court, stop hating, fuck you, fuck them, fuck everybody, and fuck that old judge, man, that let him out in the first place. Telling you guys right now, right off the top, these are two of the most guiltiest motherfuckers just based upon their appearance and the way they're acting right now. I'd rather be out looking for my child. You had that opportunity. You had the opportunity to look for your child. The truth of the matter is, you were trying to hide it, and you were just so stupid and not really a righteous criminal. Like, and when I say righteous, there's no such thing as righteousness and criminality, right? But you know what I'm saying? Someone who knows how to fucking do criminal activity. These motherfuckers are both so stupid. They came up and concocted this fucking wild story about Big Five and thought, and it's because of the area. Let me rein back. I'm emotional right now. Passionate. They made this story up because they thought that this case would be swept under the rug. But obviously, we proved the power of social media. Thank you, social media. Yeah, gracias, investigators. Let the professionals handle the business, right? If it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for word of mouth, it wasn't for people sharing videos, if it wasn't for the content like I'm doing right now, that we hope just goes up, blows up. Let's blow it up. Share it with everyone, right? Because I'm giving you guys real game. I'm not giving away game. I'm giving game, right? This case would have never been what it is today. And that's a fucking fact. That's why I respect On the Tira. That's why I respect myself when I look in the mirror. That's why I respect Dolly Visions and these other channels that keep pressing and pushing. Because that's where it started. You know, these two fuckers need to be held accountable. Jake and Rebecca. And I say fucker with a capital F and not loosely, right? Just straight up, pura. For those that are saying they're not guilty because they haven't been proven guilty in the court of law, innocent people don't act that way when their child's missing. An innocent person, if your child's missing, can't eat, can't sleep, can barely cry because they're all cried out. You know what I'm saying? Like a Lisa song. I would be going crazy. You would be going crazy, I'm sure. To even sit down for an interview and say, I want to find I'd be fucking screaming, find my kid, motherfucker, get over, right? You're just very, very passionate and emotional. Your child is missing. How can you sleep knowing your kid's out there somewhere? Because the fact of the matter is, their child is not out there. Oh, he's out there somewhere, but he's not alive anymore. And they could rest easy knowing that. And they've accepted that. See, they accepted his death before we even knew about Mr. Ola. They already accepted it. Why did they accept it? Because they're the ones who did it. So for those of you that are saying guilty or not guilty, guilty than a motherfucker, right? And if they're not guilty for unaliving this baby and it comes out that we were all wrong, they're guilty for being stupid. I'll just say that right now. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to continue to shout out justice for baby Manuel, justice for Promise. I'm not even going to lie. I got a little bit of a different video coming later on this channel. It's a little bit more prison related. I said I wasn't going to be doing too many prison videos, but this one was brought to my attention, and this is something I must do. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's justice for baby Emmanuel and Promise. And that's the bottom line, because the guy wearing the P hat told you so.